Greetings again, Mediator Yemi, continuing my musings in the realm of mediation. Last time I was here, I was pondering this disturbing trend. It's creeping in very slowly, gradually, but becoming consistent that mediation settlement agreements are being challenged, either on the basis of the parties saying it is not their agreement, even using the contractual pleading non est factum to challenge it in that regard. The There's also the idea that parties are claiming that they were manipulated or that the mediator forced them. And if you remember, I was sharing with you and I said to you that one of the things that strikes me at the heart of that is because we were failing to pay attention to a very important element of authentic mediation, and that is that power to resolve, power to settle, power to end must remain unequivocally, uncompromisingly in the parties, not even in their council, not even jointly with their council or their representatives. It must reside in the parties. And you find that if this is done properly, if the mediator has been sufficiently experienced and skilled, there's nothing that is ever absolutely impossible under the sun. But I have a very confident feeling that there will be few, if none, if any at all, cases where parties will be able to challenge a mediation settlement agreement, certainly not on the part that it was not their agreement, or that they were manipulated, or that they were maneuvered, or that the mediator was not neutral, because all these things are the fundamental elements of mediation. You see, the thing that has made this a pitfall for us in mediation is the informal nature of mediation, the informal way in which we carry it out. And it is understandable that because it is so informal, we tend to forget that it is the conduct of it that is informal, but its principles are definite. The things that its elements are quite definitive. And therefore, although the process itself is informal, its attributes, its elements, its qualities are definitive. They are things that must be present. So that if parties abide by those things and don't allow themselves to be taken away by the informality, at the risk of being unduly repetitive, let me say this. It is not only the mediator that must be neutral. I am saying, just in the same way as I've been talking about authentic mediation, I'm going to make a statement that I made the last time, and I'm repeating it because I'm curious to hear what others think. I am saying that it is not only the mediator that should be neutral. I believe even the council, the representatives of the parties, must also be neutral. They must not be the ones that have the power. They must work with the mediator to ensure that the power remains in their client. And this is where their role also comes in as umpire, like I mentioned. That when they find the mediator going out of place, it is their duty to ensure that the mediator stays on a line. Now, therefore, what is their role? Are they representing their clients? Yes, they are. But you know what? Unlike in your typical negotiation or your typical peacemaking, I don't like to talk of it as win-lose, win-win. I don't even see it as all win. I believe that in an authentic mediation process, which is carried out in the method of authentic mediation, Actually, parties should see the entire process as a joint venture. The resolution of the conflict it's something in which every single person has a stake. It's a different kind of stake. The process helps us to understand and clearly delineate what my stake is. Let me give an imperfect example. The pie is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, what is germane to me may be 1, 2, 7, and 9. That's what I need to identify. And the other party takes all the remaining numbers within the 1 to 10, apart from the 1 to 7 and 9, which have been identified as mine. But at the end of the day, what do we achieve? We achieve a 1, 2, 3 to 10. So it's a joint venture. And that should be the attitude. And when we go in, the role of the representatives also is to coach their clients to understand that we are not in a quarrel. We are no longer now not just looking at this side or my side, but actually we all are sitting on the same side. In fact, my preference, as much as possible, for a mediation table is not rectangular or square or oblong, but rather it should be circular. It should be circular, in which you don't know, it's not even completely clear who is on which side. We are all together solving a problem. And when that happens, you begin to find that parties will come out of there taking ownership of their agreement. And when they take ownership of their agreement, it's amazing. They're unlikely to challenge it. They're unlikely, whether they or their lawyers, whatever it is, to come back to start speaking of manipulation or maneuver or influence and so on and so forth. Why? They have been the ones who brought it to be. They take pride in the solution and therefore they take ownership in effecting it. And let me throw in a little bonus. We talk about mediation, about preserving relationships. I want to say this. Let me give you a little preview of future musings. When that power is properly put in the parties and they feel it and they express it and they are the ones who carried it out, it makes it easier for them to walk away from that place with their relationship preserved. Because when they have the power, they own the power, and they work cooperatively, what is the result of it? They feel a sense of cooperative achievement. And that itself becomes a foundation for their sustained relationship going forward. We will continue to examine this. We talked about agreement. I've been thinking about agreements, about the place of agreements before. I've been talking a lot about the mediation settlement agreement. When I come back next time, I want to share my thoughts with you on those agreements that we need to have in the mediation process. Until then, here is Mediator Yemi signing out. Until next time, take good care. Be good.